What's up guys, Melonie Mac here, and I just got through watching Suicide Squad today. I just woke up from a nap and I figured the messiness would just work better, you know what I'm saying? I was looking forward to this movie for a long time, and then I saw the critics reviews and that kind of worried me, and I thought, oh man, maybe this isn't as awesome as I thought it would be. I thought I had to go watch it, I had to see. I don't want to give any spoilers or anything, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot about story and all this and that. I'm just going to be very general with you guys. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I left absolutely loving the movie. So I really don't know who poured salt in these critics' Kool-Aid or whatever, but I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think honestly the best part about this movie is just the cast in general. I feel like the actors all really nailed their roles, and I was extremely happy about how Margot Robbie portrayed Harley Quinn. I think she just absolutely like blew it out of the water, but totally exceeded my expectation. I was worried about her not really making the character feel like the actual character, and you know, because I just see her and I'm like, obviously she's gorgeous, and I think, did they just hire her because she's a pretty face, or is she really gonna do this? And so I was kind of skeptical about it, but she completely, I mean, it just killed it. She absolutely killed it. I feel like her role was the absolute best in the movie, and I can't say enough good about how she did her character, and everybody else too. And I know the Joker, everybody wants to be like critical about it because after Heath Ledger's Joker, it's like, who can top that? But to me, I just feel like Jared Leto's Joker versus Heath Ledger's Joker are so different, and The Dark Knight was just more of, it was a totally different movie, and so the Joker was a totally different Joker. So I feel like, for what it's worth, Jared Leto's Joker was freaking phenomenal, and I think that he really pulled off what they were going for with the character. I didn't really expect anything different considering Jared Leto is pretty much born for that. He's already kind of crazy, which isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing. He's already crazy, and I just knew, I had full faith that he was gonna pull off an awesome Joker, and he completely did, and so that's cool. I also gotta say, I know I gotta bring this into the picture here, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like feminazi or whatever, but I have to talk about this, and that's the way that the female characters were portrayed. That's important to me, and I know it's important to a lot of girls watching, and even guys out there. I have this thing, and I remember the first time I ever really clicked in my head that it was just like, wow, female characters just aren't done well. And that was when the Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie came out ages ago, and I was a kid, and I was obsessed with the Power Rangers. I thought they were awesome, and I was so excited for this movie. And then when I watched the movie in theaters, I saw how helpless they made Pink Ranger, and there were just fight scenes I remember where she's like, Tommy, help me, Tommy, and he'd go and save her. And then like I remember just feeling so upset and so disappointed, because it was like, dude, why are all these guys doing all these cool stuff, and then the girl characters are just kind of weak and they just need to get saved by the guys? And I was just so disappointed about that, and child me was just devastated. I was just so impressed by that in this movie, how well the female characters were portrayed, because it was done in a way to where it was equal, man. It was totally equal. That's exactly what we want to see. And it wasn't like, okay, here, it's in your face, guys, just so you know, this female's a strong character, just so you know, we're making her a strong character. They didn't like throw it in your face. They just did it like, okay, we're gonna make some cool, strong, boss female characters, and yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? It's like they don't have to spell it out for us that, guys, by the way, this is a girl and she's also strong. It's like they just made her strong. They made freaking, honestly, there were no female characters in that movie to where I felt like they were helpless or they were the damsel in distress or anything like that. They were all freaking amazing, from Harley Quinn to Katana to Enchantress to the lady who formed the team, everything. It's like they were just as awesome as the dude characters, which is exactly what I wanted to see. And I feel like the childhood me in my heart was like, yes, this is what it's about. This is what I want to see. What's going on with Harley Quinn, because she is a character that we are used to seeing very sexualized, and of course we see some of that in the movie, but I think that they did a good job with the fact that it wasn't too much. I mean, I think that there's some ways it could have been toned down a little bit to where it was a little bit much, but all in all, I don't think it was anything to be upset about. I think the only thing that I had a problem with in terms of seeing Harley Quinn sexualized was just the fact that they kind of went a little bit too try-hard. And by the way, guys, just so you know, she's really hot. You know, here's all the guys oogling over her. She's really hot. And it's just, I don't really feel like they had to do that, because it's quite clear that she's freaking gorgeous, and it's quite clear that they picked like one of the most beautiful women in the whole world to portray her character. So it's like, you really don't have to spell it out for us that Harley Quinn is freaking drop dead gorgeous, because we can see that, you know what I mean? So in that sense, I do wish that they would have kind of not thrown it in our face to where it's like, hey guys, just so you know, because it just detracted from okay, obviously, you know, she is a gorgeous character, and she's also like a boss, like kicks butt and stuff like that. So you don't have to spell it out for us, because we can see that. And here's the thing, is I've read a lot of critics and what they're talking about, what they don't like about it, and they say it's just kind of like a mishmash of a bunch of different movies into one or whatever. And I think that the complaint with that is they wanted more backstory but separate, and it was too much for one. I don't know what it was, but here's what I have to say on the matter is I appreciate the fact that the movie freaking got to business, because, you know, we got the backstories, we got bits and pieces of the characters that we needed, but we didn't have to go through the whole freaking process. And I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, I am so tired of origin stories. It's like, how many times do we have to see some of our, excuse me, I got the burps. How many times do we have to see some of our favorite characters have to go through origin stories and reboots and this and that? And you know what? It gets old after a while. It's like, okay, you know, if you want to kind of give us a little history of the character or just to show who they are, you don't have to do a whole freaking origin story about it. I just want to get to the action. I just want to get to the cool parts. I don't want to see all this ridiculous over development of a character. Let their development show through their actions, and we don't have to know every little freaking second of their backstory. It's just too much, man. In this case, we got to see a little bit of the characters' histories, all of them, but we got to see them already freaking developed. We didn't have to see them go through all of this learning process and all of this origin story and all of this heavy stuff and all of this drama. It would have been too much. So I appreciate the fact that they didn't do that. And if you want to get to know the characters better, that's, you know, that's what the future movies can help you do. Just freaking pick it up from here, man. We don't have to go from their little childhood babiness and all the way. I don't know, I don't like it. Also, I appreciated that there were not dull moments. It's like people want to complain that it was just too much and all this stuff. No, man, who wants to watch a movie like Suicide Squad and sit through a bunch of boring character development and all this stuff? It doesn't have to be done that way. So it's like, there's not a dull moment. There's action. There's freaking, I never was at a point in that movie where I was like, okay, I'm bored now. Like, come on, hurry up and get to the action. Like, they nailed it. They freaking killed it with that. It was like action-packed. So you want to see, I mean, I don't know what the problem is. In my head, I don't know what the critics were thinking. I don't know if maybe they're just Marvel fanboys or whatever, and they don't like DC movies, and they kind of had it out from this movie before it even came out, which I suspect, because ever since we've seen any type of promo for this movie or anything, there's always been a bunch of critics, a bunch of people complaining, and a bunch of people just hating for no reason. And it's like, give it a freaking shot. And I don't really feel like they gave it that fair shot, because this is an awesome movie. And no movie is perfect. Of course, people can find things that they don't like about it, but it did not deserve the negative criticism that it got. I just don't see it. I can't grasp it. I can't understand it. If you're on the fence about watching it, freaking watch it. And I know that there's some people who say they don't like it, and a lot of people who are repeating a lot of what the critics say. And a part of me wonders is like, if the critics wouldn't have said that, would they have said that? You know, I don't know, man. And so for the people who kind of had it out for this movie to begin with, they're gonna find reasons to hate it. But if you go into the movie with an open mind and expecting a fun time, you're gonna like it. I feel like it had a perfect balance with the humor, with the action, with the darkness. I just hope that the movie does well enough to where we can see more, and to where people don't care about the critics, because who cares? Honestly, who cares? What makes a movie bad? You know what I mean? What makes a movie bad and what makes a movie good? All we can really say is I found it entertaining and someone else didn't find it entertaining. There is no good or bad, in my opinion, when it comes to art, and movies are art. So it's like, you like it or you don't like it. It's a personal preference thing. For me, I freaking loved it, and I think that a lot of people involved in nerd culture and who are into comics and things like that, or previously into Suicide Squad before this movie, even if you're not, if you're just like into this kind of stuff, you're gonna love it. I think so anyway. So that's just my opinion, but there you have it, my review for Suicide Squad. Definite huge thumbs up. I think that it was freaking amazing. And I really, really want to see more from this. I really want to see a Harley Quinn movie because I think that would be the best thing ever. So, yeah. There's my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all of my social media links below so you can keep up with me. I'll catch you later. Peace.